Card scrapers are good for all kinds of stuff. I like using them to get rid of glue, fixing little indents that I might have in a project, getting rid of little pencil marks or pen marks that I missed during the sanding process. I don't want to go through the whole process again. Anyways, they're really good. I picked this one up a couple of months ago from Rockler when I was there. I didn't know how to sharpen it. I don't have a burnisher. I don't have any of the kits. I don't have any of the cool little gizmos or anything to get this done. So I had to use what I had in the shop. And what I have in the shop is a 1000 grit diamond plate. I know these diamond plates are expensive. I've had this one for years and years and years. You can also use float glass and lapping film, which we've talked about before. This will work great. That's a very low cost alternative to this. And I'm gonna use this carbide router bit. Let me show you how this works. This is super easy. All right, so my sharpening stone is here. I'm gonna put a little bit of water on there. And I've already used this, so I'm gonna be reestablishing what essentially will be a factory edge. But on that note, a factory edge a lot of times will have little mill marks in it once you start grinding it down. You wanna flatten this out until there's no more mill marks. We wanna start with a nice flat surface to begin with. I'm just gonna take it like this, and instead of going this way, I'm gonna turn it a little askew this way. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And what that's doing is flattening out that edge. But if you run it this way, what can happen is you can end up inadvertently putting more pressure on the ends, and you can kind of bow this a little bit. Because as I go this way, my hand pulls back and I kind of put some pressure on the tail. And then same with this way, I put some pressure on the front. By going this way, we don't have that happening. Again, it's just the way I like to do it. There's obviously more than one way of doing basically anything. Once I have that edge nice and flat and established, I'm going to turn it this way. And even if you haven't sharpened this before, you're going to end up with some of this material pouring over the side here as it gets ground down. We want to get rid of that. That's not the burr that we're after. So we're just going to knock that down by laying it flat on its side like this, or on its face, depending on how you see it. And we're going to try and knock down both those sides. And essentially what we're doing is looking to see if that burr is gone. As long as you don't have a burr there, I have a little bit right here. So I'm gonna go back to this side, and I wanna just flatten that completely out. We're essentially making it back into a square. I'll get rid of some of the schmutz here. Okay, I have no burr. Let's grab the router bit and head off to the next step. Okay, I have my router bit here. Be careful, obviously, not to cut yourself on this. If you want, you can wrap a piece of paper towel or something around it. So let's see, this is the side that we just tuned up. I'm gonna bring it back here and lay it flat on the table. I'm gonna lay this flat on the table like this, and I'm just gonna slide the scraper right underneath it so that this ends up at just a little bit of an angle. I'm gonna start at the back side here, and I'm gonna push down on the bench and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm just gonna stand it up. Actually, I don't need that. I'm gonna stand it up. This would be 90 degrees to this. It'd be a perfect T. I wanna come in just a couple degrees here, and we're gonna start with this. We're gonna come up, I'm gonna put some pressure on it and go 1. I'm gonna change that angle a little bit less now. 2, 3, and at 3, I'm basically right back to 90 degrees. I'm gonna tilt it again. 4, 5, 6. And again, I don't want a huge hook on there, a huge angle. I just wanna go just a little bit off. And what you should feel at the end of that is a very small burr. It's not very big at all. Let's go take it on this piece of cherry and maple board here that I have, and let's see how well it scrapes. I'll wipe this stuff off because I don't want my stone to sit here and rust. I'll put all this stuff aside. I have this board here. It's been kicking around the shop for a while now, and hopefully you guys can see I have all these pencil marks on here. Let's see, which is the side that I tuned up. Okay, we're just gonna take it, we're gonna put a slight bend in it. We're gonna set it down here, kind of matching that angle that we had before, and with that bend, we're gonna push forward. A lot of times, it takes a second to really figure out where that angle is that you need to be at. I mean, how cool is that? We're getting these shavings off of here that include the little Purple Heart strip that I have in here. But as you can see, we're getting nice shavings off of here. We're getting rid of all this pencil mark. And we're not getting just dust. That's the key thing here, is we're not just getting dust. A lot of times when you sharpen these, at least for me, I got almost only dust for the longest time. Okay, now it's starting to get hot. Anyways, hopefully this helps you guys out. I know there's varying opinions on how to do certain things, but like I said, there's more than one way to do just about everything we do out here. And since I don't have an actual burnisher and all that stuff, this actually works just fine for me, and it works every time. So maybe it'll work for you too if you're limited on the amount of stuff you have in your shop. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. As always, we'll see you guys in the next video.